Hey there, you. Come on over here. Let's have a little bit of a spiritual experience. So look, my name is Brian Nestline. I am a psychic, clairvoyant, spiritual oracle card reader. That's a mouthful. What I'm really saying is I'm a spiritual coach, like a wellness coach, lifestyle coach, something like that. When I say wellness, I just mean like living our life to our highest hopes and dreams and having mental and emotional stamina to be able to do the day-to-day things that come up. So when difficult things arise, we're able to pause and breathe and go into our space up here, that spiritual space, our consciousness, our quiet awareness, our serenity space. And then we're able to get inspired ideas that have meaning to us, that feel like goodwill or God's will or the universal will coming through us or light coming through us. And we're able to act on that data, that directive, and use our personal self in the world to impact our relationships, our work, our vocation, our work, our life purpose, our personal experiences. For the people around us that we care about and love, oh my God, we love them so much because we know they are also the light of God, source, universe, living in the world inside of a little person called them. So, what am I doing here? I'm here to do a little bit of a card reading with a little bit of a spiritual experience for you and me and anyone who watches this. And what's going to happen is simply this. We're just going to talk about the fact that what? Boom, compassion is the key. Compassion. Let's look at compassion in a few different ways. And we'll see why this came out in this moment. The card has a lot of information on it. And when you're doing card reading, not them, when I do card reading, I look at the different colors. I look at the different abstract shapes. I look at the different images that are recognizable. I look at the words and the numbers. I look at all these things like they were facets of a diamond, little bits and pieces that are making up some kind of a message of light. Just like a diamond would reflect light through all the different angles and sides. And all the colors is one side of a diamond facet that the light can reflect off of. Ooh, it's literally reflecting off this card. The images that we recognize, eyes, nose, mouth, that's another facet. Numbers are facets, words are facets, spellings of letters put into a certain order to create a word, the divine masculine, the words, the images. We need these things so that we can let that light come through, our emotion come through into them, so that we can make sense out of this emotional light that we are packing into our personal world. Even when we get a little angry or upset or grumpy or we pack emotional light into the world with our words. How dare you? Why'd you do that? Ooh, I'm packing emotional light into the words. Now that looks negative. Okay, agree. Remember, in the world, there's positive and negative. There's no way to escape it. It's called duality. Duality. The one and the zero. Let's just turn it like that. The one and the zero. Let's just flip it around. The one and the zero. Duality. Why? Because think about a computer, binary system. All computers, you probably already know this, but why not say it in this moment? All the computers are doing is seeing everything as a series of zeros and ones, of ones and zeros and zeros and ones. 1 means something to a computer. It looks at things and understands them from a series of zeros and ones. It's a code. Duality is like a code. It is not two numbers fighting each other. They're working together. That's why we have the number 10. I mean, think about it. The number 10 is a perfect example of how a 1, I'm 1, and 0, you're nothing. I'm 0. Ooh, that's kind of funny for nothing to call the 1 nothing. That's interesting. But they can be apart from each other. They can be separate from each other. They can fight each other, different selves that are different. A 1 is always a 1, and a 1 is a 1. But the 0 is a circle. It's a round, and it goes different. And so at the level of self, they can have opposition, a position that is different or separate looking from each other. Just like the letters in the word compassion are different. The C Do you see? Each letter is different. The I. Even the word ion is there. That's a little electrical. An ion, an energy, a charge. So when we take the charges of electricity and we put them into a computer, we can create different programs with a series of zeros and ones. What am I saying? To a computer, all the different images or ideas that it's programmed into it is in the binary tree, the binary system, which is endless, because you can have an endless amount of zeros and ones in a code. They stand for different things. For example, to a computer, a rabbit might be 11011. A white rabbit might be 1110110. And on, anything, a butterfly, a caterpillar, a diamond ring, a me, a you, a singing song of nonsense, who cares? It's electric, it's energy. That's what's needed to store the data. It's energy, it's emotion, it's emotion. Emotion, it's emotional power that flows like electricity into the computer. It's just electricity into the computer that allows you to store the little figures of zeros and ones. That's all the computer sees. You've seen the matrix, you've seen all the little drippity drops of the green numbers. Look it up, you'll see a little video of that. Zeros and ones. The simulation, a lot of people say this world's a simulation. We just don't see all the zeros and ones. It's just duality that looks so real. Duality looking like reality. But so look, the zeros and the ones, we're getting so much from just this part of this card. The electricity that keeps the memories stored into the computer is the same as some kind of a bioelectricity that's keeping our memories stored in our personal self. Our memories are what make us different from each other. Yeah, I know, ouch, physical, ow, don't be pinging me that hard. Ping. That's what we do with a computer when we want to contact it. We ping it. We ping our phones so they can communicate back and forth, so the data will flow over the electrical current. And in the same way, we have an emotional flow of light, or you want to call it light, you want to call it energy, you want to call it vibrations. Call it what you will. Your words are woven into it. They are moving along with it. Are you vibrating high? Will you go where we are? Way up here in that far up place, away up in the stars. There are the sources right here for you to get involved with. Starlight, sunlight, soul, spirit, awake, living inside of a human being. One of them's called me. One of them's called you. Ooh, now what are we going to do with this thing called us? This thing called us. What am I talking about? Well, this thing called us. First thing we're going to do, if we're talking about us, meaning different people, we want to have compassion. Compassion. Now, yes, that means like understanding, not ouch, ouchie, not like retaliating if they behave in a crappy way, because we know we're going to get back what we give in this world. So we have to find a way to keep our emotional reaction from causing us to go bam, because we're just going to hurt ourselves in the long run. That's why Jesus said, whatever you do to others, you're doing to me, you're doing to yourself. Or he said, yo, treat others as if they are you, because yow, they are. They are you in disguise. They are you, meaning that they are that you. Think about a you. They are that magnet, a you. Think about a magnet. Think about a you, like a horseshoe, like a magnet. Renew your mind on this concept. They are you. They're a magnet. They're an electrical charge. They're an emotion, a vibration. Wow. They're valuable. They're unique. We have compassion. They're from the source. Wow. They're another you. They're another me. They're us. They're us, different versions of us. So we want to have compassion in this database of duality, where it looks like there's a 0 and a 1 fighting, but they're not. Where it looks like people are against each other, but they're not. They're just a variety of creative expression in the world, a packaging of words and experiences. Some of them became doctors. Some of them became football players. Some of them are nurses. It doesn't matter. They are all a different variety of the one sunlight called the source. The source. Wow, this is a big card. makes the other ones look little. Now look, the rays of the sunlight that come out, that's us. That's part of us. You're a ray of the source going out into the world and becoming embodied inside of a human being called a you. You. And how nice that is. How nice that is. So each one of us has a 100% self that is worthwhile. It's an esteem. It's an esteemable thing. Each person, no matter what, for the good and the bad that they express in the world, whether they're like rah, rah, rah with their emotions or they're like aw, aw, aw with their emotions, they are still 100% worthwhile. When we are carried away by that emotional light, can you imagine if the entire sun just ignited inside of you? How you would explode in a phoenix rising fire of different directions. And that strong emotional surge, we don't have a surge protector, do we? Ooh, but we might. That surge that goes through you, that surge of electricity or energy, that can cause you or me or them or we to react in a way that is, ouch, angry, bitter, pointing our fingers. When people reject us, when people lash out at us, when people are like rah, 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 ar, what? Perhaps they're just having an experience of an emotional explosion, a reaction, a nuclear one sometimes. And we want to realize that their database, just like if we were packing a computer with a ton of electricity, their database is getting blown apart and they're flailing and unconscious, not awake in that moment. Their emotional riptide is ripping through and coming out in different behaviors and words and beliefs. And they bombard. So remember this, the 0 and the 1 are not against each other. They're working together to create a variety for the computer of all things that can be known. All things that can be known. Einstein said it. He said, look, imagination's more important than knowledge. Imagination, the image nation, look at her imagination flourish like a mushroom, boom, like a mushroom cloud, like a nuclear reactor, loud. Check it out. Einstein said that what we can imagine is more important than what we know. Because what we can imagine includes all of our memories of all of the words that we already have. All the sounds, all the heartbeats that are already beated to this moment in time. Everything we've already known, our past, is what we have for knowledge. And all those building blocks, Lego blocks, think about them, Minecraft blocks that you take and build something else with. Building new realities. How are you going to build a new reality unless you have a blueprint? How are you going to build a home without a blueprint? You're going to come up in here and work in your secret place, in your mushroom face, in your little spiritual third ideas going to form in here. And you know you got some unique ideas. You know you're getting intuitive inklings and little database bits coming together, little new 0s and 1s forming up here for you to then whoosh, whoosh, articulate into the world. Bring down, look at her hair coming down. Bring down into the root chakra. Look at these little roots growing. These root chakra, material world expanding. Compassion. Compassion isn't quite the way that we normally think about it. Think about it differently. Watch. Passing. Come and pass it. Compassion. Come pass. Come on. Pass that stuff in here on. Come pass I on. Come and pass your I on. Your third eye, your mushroom, your big, your I've got an idea I believe in. Don't cut it. Don't shorten it. Don't say that I don't know what I'm saying. Tell others that you're like, wow, you have something special coming through you that we want to know. You're getting connected with your spiritual space. And in there, because you're not being ruled by your emotions or ruled by your past 0s and 1s, your past circumstances, because you're not being ruled by your identity as a self, by what people think of you or don't think of you, by what people say you look like or don't look like, because you have no hair, you're ugly, Brian. Not true. Look at those eyes. Boom. We don't want to take counsel from these limited identity ideas. We want to get out of ourselves and come up in here in our secret place so that we can come up into the place where we can pass I on, pass our third eye, our intuition, the big I, on into the world. And that's why we see her as blue. She is the blue throat chakra being. Look at her. The blue Messiah, the blue being, the blue Danube. Look at her, white swan, dressed in blue. Because she's going to be able to articulate with her words all of this beautiful stuff that has come from here, from the stars. Look at her, from her voice box. All the stars are trickling out, putting in the world words and ideas in her relationships, in her work, in the stories she tells herself and others. She's coming to pass her eye on to herself and others as she lives a day at a time in duality, in the little relationships, in the little world called hers. And you have a world called yours. I have one called mine. Mine has a couple of different things in it. Mine has card reading in it. Mine has video making in it. I'm passing the eye on in those spaces that were given to me. My inclinations. I like making videos. I like reading cards. The things I'm interested in. What are you interested in? Are you someone that likes to work with people? Are you someone that likes to work with addiction and recovery, social work, mental health? Is that your forte? Is that what you've been trained and skilled to do and you like doing? Work in the field you feel desired to go into. Are you a reader too? Do you want to create a community where others will come and will be able to hear messages in the moment or have perspectives that you bring from your third eye space, your intuitive space, your clairvoyance, clear viewing of your psychic, meaning clear viewing of your mind, of what comes in here, and bring to them, so that they can be renewed and have expanded perspectives and get more energy with that renewal, so that they can live a life in a way that is more beneficial to them. The quality of life of them can change, and the people around them will have better relationships and better interactions with each other, with compassion, as they all come passing their eyes on into this collective world called us, the we. So, what is this video about? You know that it's about a whole bunch of whatever you heard. It's about whatever you heard and whatever stood out. You know it's all about you. It's about whatever is glowing in the woodwork, popping out because you're listening. Look at that. As your face is recreated, you listen to the little bits and the pieces and the puzzles, the rabbits, the signs. They're following what you're saying, what you want, what you believe, what you desire, what you conceive, concepts. The ideas you're building up in your imagination space. Those are the ones that are then getting reflected back on our personal face, meaning on the face of our reality or our personal world. In other words, they are coming in as little experiences that are literal or metaphorical, symbolic, of what we've been imagining and thinking about and dreaming about. Not literal dreaming at night, but sometimes dreaming at night because we use words and emotions in the dreams. But this is just saying, like, this is why we're always manifesting stuff. This is what it is about, to be spiritually awake. You are now in control of the things that are coming into the world. You bring things like a channel, a spiritual conduit, a funnel from the whoa, yeah, of energy to, ooh, little bits and pieces of my past life here on earth and all the past lives of everyone that's been here before. They're all coming up. They're all bubbling up to, like water, change the face of earth, of your circumstances, your finances, your relationships, your everythings. So start up here. Make that blueprint up here. Make that blueprint. Imagine and feel what you want to see in the world. Like Einstein said, imagination is more important than what we know. Because imagination, the imagination allows us to build not only from our own memories, but also from what? From other people's stories, other people's memories. This video, the information in this video, you can pluck little pieces like leaves, petals off of that tree, like cards coming out. You can assemble something new that is through you. And it'll be cleanse. It'll be clean. You'll be cleansing the world of what it knew, of what it knew to now know something brand new that comes through you. That comes through you. Look at your third eye right there. Beautiful. Look at all the white light you're bringing down and the points you are making in your world. Beautiful. Look how part of you is above the water and the other part is inside or underneath it. The spiritual self and the physical mortal self combined as a frequency wave that's bringing data points into the world. Now, you know when I say data points, I'm talking about every word you spell and say, the way you treat others and yourself, the hopes and dreams and desires that you have, that you are up here about hoping for, imagining what it would be like for them to be happening. And then you let it go and let it flow, and you will float along this river of light, this wave. It will just lead you, almost magically it seems, into situations that will reflect back what you've been hoping for, wanting, preferring. It just happens. And that cleanse card is there to clean out our personal life. Like, clean it out. What do you mean clean it out, Brian? I mean, don't tell stories of darkness and negativity and, oh, I can't, and loss. Sure, it's okay to feel that wide variety in the moment and respect a loss. Heal from a little bit of sadness. Embrace these things in the moment as they arise. But we cannot live there because we aren't alive there. That's just data. We are the spiritual consciousness, the blank awareness, the you of you. Let's pull another card that reflects this. We are the you of you, that spiritual thing beyond ourselves. This is why the number one thing that everyone wants to make sure that they were able to do, that I would tell everybody in the world, if I only had one thing to say about it all, I'd say the most important thing would be to make sure you wake up spiritually, meaning that you have a clear difference between your 0 and your 1, meaning that you have a difference between yourself and your spirit, so that you can get out of the delusion of what it's like to just live as a self only, that you can come up and out of that world, up into this purple wisdom place where anything is possible, so that you can come back down and create a brand new world. One that is going to be shaped by your hopes and your dreams and your words and your emotions. Your hopes, your dreams, your words, your emotions, which are going to cause you to act in a certain way and reflect back a situation. Intention without surrender can become delusional. Why? Because we don't want our emotions and our words to just go left and right and up and down and just all around. No, we want to cleanse it of that and have an intention, have a blueprint. An inner tension is what it's saying. So that we can create a new type of a illusionary world, one that is more in tune with what we prefer, or the general goodwill that we want to see, or the compassion, the things we want to come pass on. And that's going to be our contribution. Look how the card comes out. Our big heart in the world, our tree of life, and look at all the little hearts that end up on the big tree of life that we want to be part of. And that's you, approaching this tree of life, so that everyone can come and see the little leaves, the leave behinds, the things we leave behind that we come here to pass through us. Compassion, come passing your eye on to be a contribution for the tree of life, that people who are spiritually awake, who are looking for God, source, universe to be talking with them in different ways, they're able to see you as a spiritual conduit, as a spiritual heart, and they're able to pluck things off the leaves of the tree of life that you've left behind. Just like this video is leaving behind a lot of information, or zeros and ones, data, for people to pluck that they feel is heart-shaped, that they feel connected with. That's why every reading is for you, every one of them. If you listen and look inside of the readings and the information, and you recognize your heart there, whatever level your heart's on right now, whatever your intention is, you'll get bits and pieces that will help be contributing to your heart's expansion, which means that your life's expansion in the world, expanding in areas of relationship, what to do next, what to do is the best thing to do for you. You'll get those inspired thoughts and ideas. So goody good. Thank you, Source, God, Universe, Light, whatever you want to call these things. Thank you who's watching this, for being that unique individual that nobody else can be. because you are a set of zeros and ones, like a computer. The ego is not alive, it's just a database of memories that we keep adding to. And then we have an emotional experience that keeps flowing through us, and we want to get behind that, behind those words and emotions, so that we can wield our emotion and believe, create new beliefs, believing, belief. Think about it. We want to be the leaves that we let fall from the tree of our own personal life. We want to be able to do that with integrity, meaning we want to have the highest ideas we can and be that angel, be that butterfly, be that blue messiah, that word machine that brings into the world more history, his story. His story meaning God source universe, her story meaning God source universe, the story of light, articulated with words and images and zeros and ones through a person who is uniquely valuable in the world, called you. Welcome to the high spiritual self-esteem that you have when you recognize yourself as a spirit and a self combined. If you need help with that, I am a professional spiritual coach. I'm a spiritual awakening facilitator. I can easily demonstrate with you the different concepts of a self and a spirit, so you can recognize these parts of your makeup. Then I can show you 3 simple practices that you can use each day in your situations. They'll just become a pattern or a habit. They'll kick right in. And when they do, they cause you to stay spiritually buoyant. They maintain your spiritual identity so that you can continue to be clear-headed even in the clouds of confusion or the uninspired times or the I'm lost, ooh. You'll know what to do and you'll know how to do it when you have other people around you that are spiritual support systems or spiritual fellowshippers, spiritual empowerment coach like myself. So we don't try to control you. No, I'm not going to control you. I'm going to help you to control your own light and self data so that you can create what you were designed to create or what you're inspired to create or what you really are in love with sending into the world, leaving, contributing into the world, come passing your eye on into the world. So go ahead and hit me up, work with me one-on-one. It's super easy, or take my little course, Spiritual Identity Shift, so that you can get those 2 concepts and those 3 practices, boom, boom, boom. Before you know it, you'll be living on high vibration any single time you want to. And your hopes and dreams and the things that you really, really want to believe in, you're going to be living. Take care, have fun. I'll see you again. Check the comments or the descriptions of wherever this video is and look for that course, the link for that. Go ahead and find me on Facebook, Brian Nessline. Hit me up, send me a message. We'll work together. Yeah, thank you so much. Take care, have fun. I'll see you again.